Good afternoon, everyone. In the last class, I started discussing T.S. Eliot's essay, Tradition and the Individual Talent. And I told you that there are three parts in this essay. The first part is called tradition. The second part is about the theory of impersonal poetry. And the last part, it is the summary or conclusion. So these are the three parts. In the last class, I discussed the first part, that is tradition. Today, I'm going to discuss the second part, which is called theory of impersonal poetry. We can also say impersonality of the poet. So before I go on, I would like to know from you uh, what it means by the word impersonal or impersonality. What is impersonal? Anyone? Any idea? Anyone can try. What do you understand by impersonality or impersonal?
যা পার্সোনাল থাকবে না, মানে সবাই জানবে আর কি।
Impersonal means something which is not personal.
Not hidden.
Which is not personal. All right. So the word impersonality, it actually means the absence of emotional attachment in a situation. If you are not emotionally attached, that means you are impersonal. It is the absence of human character or of the qualities connected with the human character. In a word, it indicates being objective. If you are objective, if you are passive, and if you have no personal reference or connection, that means you are impersonal. So T.S. Eliot believes that the artist must continuously surrender himself to something which is more valuable than himself. That is literary tradition. According to T.S. Eliot, literary tradition is more important, more valuable than the artist, than the poet himself. The tradition, the past, these are more important. The past must shape and change his poetic sensibility. If the poet knows about the past, knows about his tradition, then it will create, it will also change his poetic sensibility. That means his poetry will be better, his poems will be more acceptable, nicer to the common people if he has knowledge about the tradition or about the past. The poet or the artist must continue to get the sense of tradition throughout his life. He should always try and learn about the past, about the tradition in his whole life or whole lifetime. So he must gain greater and greater objectivity. What does objectivity mean? objectivity means impersonality. I have already told you, if you are impersonal, that means you are objective. You are not subjective, you are objective. All right. So, as I have said, the poet must achieve, must get, must gain greater and greater objectivity. His emotions and passions must be depersonalized. So here is the main point. Impersonality, it is connected with the emotions and feelings or passions. The emotions and feelings of the poet must be depersonalized. Depersonalized, or we can say, must be impersonal. He must be as impersonal and objective as a scientist. The personality of the artist is not important. The important thing is his sense of tradition. All right. So he must forget his personal joys and sorrows. Every person has his own emotions and own feelings. The poet is a human being. The poet also has his own joys, own sorrows, emotions, feelings. All right. He also cries when he is sad. He also smiles when he is happy. He also, you know, loves someone. He also hates someone. So love, hatred, these are all emotions. The poet also has these emotions, but T.S. Eliot is saying that he should not express his own emotions when he is writing poetry. He should be impersonal. That means he should hide. He should hide his own emotions when he is writing poetry. This is called impersonality. So T.S. Eliot again and again says that a poet should always be attentive about the sense of tradition and express it in his poetry. So T.S. Eliot thinks that tradition has a very valuable position or place in a poet or a writer's life. Now, the poetic process, I'm going to discuss the poetic process, and it is also connected with impersonality of the poet. So, same thing, but it is a subtopic. It is called the poetic process, the analogy of the catalyst. So don't worry, it's also very easy to understand. Can you hear? Just checking if you can hear me
Yes,
clearly or
sir.
not.
Sir, if you speak loudly, it's better to.
Okay, so all right, wait for a second. All right, is it better now? Okay,
Little bit, sir.
all right. So here, the poetic process, that means, according to Eliot, a poet should write poetry by following a system. Okay, so what is the system? Eliot develops his theory of the impersonality of poetry. He compares the mind of the poet to a catalyst, and the process of poetic creation, or the process of creating poetry, to the process of a chemical reaction. So this is very interesting. T.S. Eliot, he compares the mind of the poet to a catalyst, and the process of creating poetry to the process of chemical reaction. Just as chemical reactions happen in the presence of a catalyst only, the poet's mind also is the catalytic agent that unites different emotions and creates something new. I'm giving you an example. For example, there is a jar, especially in the laboratories, the scientists, what do? They test, right? There are some jars made of glass. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everyone? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Sir.
In a laboratory, there are so many, scientific instruments, tools, বৈজ্ঞানিক যন্ত্রপাতি, like, jars made of glass. There are some observations, experiments done in the laboratories. So just as chemical reactions happen in the presence of a catalyst only, the poet's mind also is the catalytic agent that unites different emotions and creates something new. For example, there is a jar that has oxygen and sulfur dioxide in it. Just imagine there is a jar, and inside the jar there is oxygen and there is sulfur dioxide. Now, if we add a fine filament of platinum, if we add platinum to the jar, then what happens? Then these two gases mix. Oxygen and sulfur dioxide, they mix and become something new, become sulfurous acid. All right. So the mixture of oxygen and sulfur dioxide, it is possible, it happens only when we add platinum. So what is the platinum here? Platinum is the catalyst. All right. In English, we call it catalyst. In Bangla, প্রভাবক। প্ল্যাটিনামের প্রভাবেই অক্সিজেন এবং সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড দুটো মিশে নতুন একটা জিনিসে পরিণত হলো, যেটার নাম সালফিউরাস অ্যাসিড। অলরাইট, so
সালফিউরিক অ্যাসিড হবে স্যার।
sulfurous acid, yes, oxygen and sulfur dioxide, they mix and become sulfurous acid. So who is the helper? Who has helped oxygen and sulfur dioxide to become sulfurous acid? Who has helped? The helper is platinum. All right. Without the platinum, oxygen and sulfur dioxide, they cannot mix and they cannot become sulfurous acid. Do you understand, Anis?
ইয়েস স্যার।
But
স্যার এটা স্যার সালফিউরাস না, এটা স্যার সালফিউরিক অ্যাসিড স্যার।
sulfurous acid, or yes, you can also call it sulfuric acid.
Okay sir.
No problem.
Okay,
It's all
sir.
the same. So you see, platinum helps to create sulfurous acid or sulfuric acid, but the platinum does not change. All right, the platinum does not change. So the platinum is changeless. It remains neutral. It remains unaffected. Platinum does not change. Similarly, the mind of the poet is like the catalytic agent or platinum. Now you compare. Eliot has compared the mind of the poet with platinum. The new mixtures of emotions and experiences happen in the mind. In the mind of a poet, new mixtures of emotions and experiences happen. I'm going to show you a picture. It will be very easier for you to understand. Just wait a second. Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
So what is here? Sulfuric dioxide,
Dioxide,
then
water.
water plus sulfuric dioxide plus water. What is the catalyst? Catalyst is
Sir,
the platinum.
it is a sulfur trioxide. Sir, dioxide হলে SO2 হবে। Sulfur trioxide এবং হচ্ছে কি পানি।
But here it's written sulfuric dioxide. As you can see,
Dioxide হলে তো এখানে 2 হবে, SO2 SO2 হচ্ছে সালফিউরিক
এটা
ডাইঅক্সাইড।
মিস্টেক আছে স্যার। SO2 হচ্ছে সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড।
maybe it's erroneous. I have taken it
কি
from.
হবে স্যার?
Okay, no problem. I have taken it from the internet, so you understand. But dioxide is written. Okay, it should be 2, right? SO2. All right. So sulfuric dioxide plus water equals H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So who is the catalyst here? The catalyst is platinum, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm showing you another picture now. Just wait a second, please.
স্যার এটা বুঝতেছি না।
I'm showing another photo, then you will understand easily. Just wait a
স্যার
second.
স্যার এটার মিনিং হচ্ছে এরকম, অর্থাৎ মানে সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড এবং হচ্ছে কি পানি, মানে ডেফিনেটলি মানে ওইটা হচ্ছে কি ক্যাটালাইজড, অর্থাৎ হচ্ছে কি প্রভাবক হিসেবে কাজ করার মধ্যে দুইটা রিঅ্যাকশনের কারণে হচ্ছে কি সালফিউরিক অ্যাসিড কিন্তু ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে। এটাই স্যার মিনিং।
Now catalyst is platinum, right?
ইয়েস স্যার।
So the poet's mind is, just imagine, poet's mind is the catalyst, poet's mind is the platinum. All right, and in his mind all the emotions, all the experiences are mixed up, but the mind remains unaffected. Platinum does not change. The poet's mind also does not change. Now please look at this picture. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Now oxygen, that means emotions. Okay, emotions of a person plus sulfur dioxide. Just তুলনা করো সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড, ওটা মনে করো মানুষের ফিলিংস, অনুভূতি। Emotions plus feelings equal to poem. All right, if a poet mixes emotions and feelings in his mind, then a poem is born. As if you mix oxygen and sulfur dioxide, you get sulfuric acid, right? Have you understood?
না স্যার,
No, why not? Just
স্যার মনে
as
লাগতেছে,
what?
স্যার জগা খিচুড়ি মনে হচ্ছে আমার কাছে এখানে।
You see oxygen plus sulfur dioxide. What happens?
স্যার এখানে পানি আছে, অক্সিজেন কোথায়? এখানে তো H2O।
Uh, no, I have shared another photo.
না
Which photo?
স্যার,
Which
ওটা শো
photo?
হচ্ছে না।
Okay, wait, please. Now can you see?
কি কেমিস্ট্রি পড়াবেন?
Now can you see?
নো স্যার।
Okay, it's loading maybe. Wait.
হ্যাঁ, এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে।
Okay, so it's not my explanation actually. এটা আমার কোনো বিশ্লেষণ নয়। T.S. Eliot এইভাবে আলোচনা করেছেন ওনার এই বইয়ে। All right. So T.S. Eliot has compared emotions with oxygen. All right. Plus sulfur dioxide. ধরো সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড হচ্ছে ফিলিংস।
আচ্ছা, দ্যাট মিন্স পোয়েম হচ্ছে যে ইমোশন এবং ফিলিংস এর একটা
মিক্সচার
নিবন্ধন।
মিক্সচার
আচ্ছা স্যার, বুঝতে পারছি।
and this mixture happens, এই যে ইমোশন এবং ফিলিংস যখন মিশে যায় তখন কিসের সৃষ্টি হয়? a
পোয়েম।
কবিতার সৃষ্টি হয়। and this mixture happens where does this mixture happen? This mixture happens in a poet's mind.
Yeah.
So the mind is like the platinum, you know, mind is like the catalyst. The catalyst does not change, so the mind of the poet does not change. The mind should not change. This is called impersonality, the impersonality of the poet. The poet's mind should not be affected. All right.
Okay.
Like the platinum. Platinum does not change. Platinum help করে অক্সিজেন এবং সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইডের মিশ্রণের মাধ্যমে সালফিউরিক অ্যাসিড তৈরিতে হেল্প করে, বাট প্ল্যাটিনাম নিজে চেঞ্জ হয় না। একইভাবে ইমোশনস এবং ফিলিংস মিক্স হয় কোথায়? কবির মনে। কিন্তু কবির মন যাতে চেঞ্জ না হয়, ওই প্ল্যাটিনামের মতো, প্ল্যাটিনাম যেমন চেঞ্জ হয় না, কবির মনও যাতে চেঞ্জ না হয়। দিস ইজ কল্ড the impersonality of poetry. The mind of the poet should not be changed. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes sir, now okay.
Great. So, all right. Next is the mind of the poet is always forming emotions and experiences into something new, but the new mixture does not have a sign of the poet's mind. As I was saying, the mind should never change. In the case of a young and immature poet, his mind, his personal emotions and experiences may influence his writing, but T.S. Eliot says, the more perfect the artist, the more completely separate in him will be the man who suffers and the mind which creates. It means that there should be a clear separation between the poet's body, that means experiences, and mind. The poet's worldly experiences, his own personal emotions, his own personal feelings should be separated. Okay, his mind and his experiences should be separated. What does it mean? It means impersonality. You are hiding your emotions, you are hiding your feelings. The man suffers. Here, suffers means the man has experiences. You see, in the world, we all have our own individual experiences. Some experiences are good, some experiences are bad. All right. You are students now, all of you. You have your own experiences. Experiences at home, experiences outside, social life, personal life. So we all have our experiences. But the poet's mind changes his experiences into something new and different. When a poet creates poetry, that means it is something new. It is a creation, original creation, and it is new, it is different. I hope you understand.
স্যার আমি আছি স্যার।
Okay, I did not call you. I said, I hope you understand. Okay, now I'm going to discuss deeply about emotions and feelings. I have already told you that the poet should hide his emotions and feelings. This is called the impersonality of the poet. Now, emotions and feelings. Oh, what do you understand? What is emotions? The term emotions. What does the term emotions mean? Emotions and feelings are the same or are they different? Anyone? Can you try to answer?
Sir, emotions means it's definitely from inner heart. So it should be feel and good or bad or sadness or something. So it's mixed with and feelings. So definitely feelings and emotion may make a poem. So like example, sulfur trioxide and water water makes a sulfuric acid. Same systematic way, and emotion feelings both are combined reacted after result make poem. We can compare. We can compare exactly.
All right, I'm saying now. Eliot says that there are two kinds of experiences that help a poet to create poetry. Two types of experiences. Experience number one, emotions. Emotions, the term, it means strong feelings that come from a person's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. Emotions are strong feelings. All right. For example, if a person if a person loves a girl, then what happens? He feels he feels like the king of the world. Everything feels heavenly. He is always happy. Whenever he sees the girl, he starts smiling unknowingly, and he's always in a good mood. All right. So these are emotions, strong feelings, as it happens in Bollywood movies. especially in some romantic movies of Shah Rukh Khan. Uh, did you watch the movie? Was it what is the name? Main Hoon Na? Main Hoon Na. Did you watch? Anyone? Shah Rukh Khan's movie Main Hoon Na. Did
Yes,
anybody?
sir.
Who is it? Ria. Okay. So Ria, what happens when Shah Rukh Khan sees Susmita Sen? What happens? He feels like it's a dream world, right? The world becomes a dreamland,
Yes, sir. The world becomes dreamy for him.
dreamy, and he feels like uh, there is a band, a group of people playing music for him, behind him, and
Yes,
he's
sir.
playing, playing on a violin. So everything becomes dreamy, dreamlike. So these are emotions. So, and feelings. What do you understand by feelings, Riya? Just opposite, strong emotions. Emotions are strong feelings. Feelings are strong emotions. All right. So feelings are the emotional states or reactions. It means emotional responses. So when when a lover goes before or goes to a beloved, goes to his beloved, and you know gives her a rose, red rose, and tells her that I love you. So it means he is expressing his emotions, strong emotions. He is expressing his strong emotions. So when you feel, it is called emotions. When you express, by saying something, it is called feelings. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So a poet can create poetry, a poet can write poetry by using emotions only, or by using feelings only, or a poet can use both emotions and feelings to create poetry. Now comes another point, poetry as organization, intensity of the poetic process. Poetry as organization. So Eliot compares the poet's mind to a jar or container in which numberless feelings, emotions are present. As we have, everyone has emotions and feelings in his or her minds. Similarly, a poet also has emotions and feelings in his or her mind. But these emotions are not organized. These are unorganized. In Bangla, we call, এলোমেলো। কবির মনে যে ইমোশনস আছে, আবেগ অনুভূতি আছে, এগুলো এলোমেলো পর্যায়ে আছে। So all the particles which can unite to form a new compound are present together. But all these feelings, all these emotions can help the poet to create poetry, to write poetry. So poetry is organization. The poet has to organize. What is organize?
আয়োজন করা।
Organized means you have to write systematically. You have your emotions, you have your feelings, but when you are writing a poem, can you write in an unorganized way? অগোছালো ভাবে কি এলোমেলো যা মন চাইছে তাই কি লেখা যায় না, নাকি you have to follow a system process of writing?
Sir, you know the poetic license, so and you have to follow rules and regulations
And you have
according
to,
to poetic license.
yes, and you have to make sure, you have to decide which line I should write first, which line I should write next, which words I should use. Am I right? So this is called organization. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If the poetic process is more intense, more deep, the poem will be greater. There is always a difference between the artistic emotion and the personal emotions of the poet. The poet has no personality to express. C.S. Eliot is telling this again and again. The poet should not express his own personality. He should be a catalyst, like the platinum. In his mind, he should mix up his experiences, emotions, feelings, etc. He can mix up all these in his mind to create something new, to create poetry. So here he actually does not like romantic subjectivism. You see, the romantic poets, they believed in subjectivism. That means in the personality of the poet. All right. The romantic writers, for example, the romantic poets, especially William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, John Keats. So all those poets, they believed in the personality of the poet, in the subjectivity. They believed that the poet's personal emotions and feelings should be reflected in poetry. But T.S. Eliot is saying, no, this is not right. The poet should not be subjective. The poet should be objective. Objective means the poet should be impersonal. He should not express his own emotions and feelings. Now I'm going to discuss another point, artistic emotion. Now, what is artistic emotion? The emotion of poetry, that means artistic emotion, is different from the personal emotions of the poet. His personal emotions may be simple or rough, but the emotion of his poetry may be complex and refined. What does it mean? Can anyone explain? Eliot is saying that artistic emotion is okay, there is no problem with artistic emotion, but the emotions of the poet should not be, you know, should be hidden, should be hidden. Emotions and feelings of the poet should be hidden. Can anyone discuss artistic emotion or emotion of poetry? Anyone? Ria, can you try? Hello,
Yes, sir.
can you try? Just try, no problem, I'll help you.
Okay, it says that emotions and feelings, a poet should hide his emotion and feelings in poetry.
But artistic emotion is okay. Eliot is saying artistic emotion is okay. What does it mean? It means when you are writing an elegy, just example, what is elegy?
Sir, in Bengali, show.
Shok kobita, right? If someone dies, if you write a poem about him, all right, so it's called elegy. So when you are writing elegy, so should there be artistic emotion? It should be a sad
Uh,
poem, right? It should be a sad poem. Yes or no?
it is a sad poem.
It should be a sad poem. So sad emotion, sadness should be there, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is called actually artistic emotion.
That means anything sad feelings
No,
is that
if
express is a artistic feelings
not
or emotion.
always sad, it may also be something about happiness, about happiness. All right, like someone has achieved something extraordinary. All right, now you are happy, and if you write a poem about it, so what will be the artistic emotion? Sadness or happiness? Every line will be about your achievement or about someone else's achievement, uh, about joy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Anis,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me the name of a poem which is full of happiness from line 1 to the last line? A happy poem of happiness, written by anyone, any poet. Or any rhyme.
Sir, Shukobita.
What? I'm
Sir, in
saying
English or Bengali.
English or Bangla, any poem or any rhyme. In Bangla we call it chora. Any any poem of happiness,
স্যার যেগুলো মানে দেশাত্মবোধক
or
কবিতা
any song.
মাতৃত্ব
Just tell me the name of a song, romantic happy song. My God, don't you hear songs? Anyone? There are So many students here. And a romantic song written by Rabindranath Tagore.
Oh my God. Yes, sir. I remember now, sir.
What?
Sir, song name I forgot, but he wrote so many songs.
Can you mention 2 lines? Okay, what about Amaro Porano Jaha Chai?
Yes, sir.
Tumi tai go Amaro Porano Jaha Chai. So it's a happy song or sad song?
It's a happy song, sir. Totally happy song.
There is happiness and also sadness. All right. The first 2 lines, Amaro Porano Jaha Chai, Tumi tai go. So it means the lover is positive. He is expressing his emotions in a positive way. All right. But there is another line in the song, Tumi সুখ যদি nahi pao, jao সুখেরও সন্ধানে jao. Do you remember, everyone? Tumi সুখ যদি nahi pao,
Yes,
jao
sir.
jao সুখেরও সন্ধানে jao. Now the tone, the voice is happy or sad one?
Sir, we cannot
Yes, sir.
understand.
It's a
Could
mixture
you,
of
could you please sing it for us? Then we can understand the tune.
No, I'm
it's
not.
mixture of happiness and also sorrowness.
You see, a poem, a song may have or may be about happiness from line number 1 to the last line, or there are some lines which are full of happiness, there are some lines which are full of sadness. Okay, so this is called artistic emotion. All right, artistic emotion, যেখানে যেমন দরকার, কবি যেখানে যেমন মনে করেন ওখানে ওইরকম উনি লিখবেন। রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর প্রথম 2 লাইন আমারও পরানো যাহা যায় তুমি তাই গো, এখানে একদম মানে রোমান্টিক, যে তুমি, হ্যাঁ, ইউ আর মাইন, the lover is saying to the beloved that you are mine. All right, but later on he is also saying that তুমি সুখ যদি নাহি পাও যাও সুখেরও সন্ধানে যাও। এখানে the lover is emotional and he is sad. If you are not happy, you may go wherever you want to. Do you understand, Naim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Eliot actually, he does not agree with the romantic poets, especially he does not accept William Wordsworth's theory of poetry. William Wordsworth famously said, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. According to William Wordsworth, the Romantic poet, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Eliot believes that there is neither emotion nor recollection nor tranquility in the creation of poetry. This is very interesting. According to Eliot, there is no emotion, no recollection. Recollection means remembrance, nor tranquility in the creation of poetry. Eliot means that when a poet writes poetry, there is no emotion, no remembrance, no peaceness. Tranquility means peaceness, quietude. Actually, uh, what do you understand when Wordsworth says poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings? Anyone? Can you explain this?
Sir, yes, sir. I can. Sir, it's actually root in his poem. The poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. That means, if we feel something, um, it's maybe good or bad. That time, if we wrote or we write, we can write a poem. In Bengali, we can say that মানে বাংলায় এটা আমরা বলতে পারি যে কি কবিতা হচ্ছে কি আমাদের এক ধরনের খুবই আবেগের একটা বহিঃপ্রকাশ বলতে পারি।
Okay,
পছন্দ যে ধরনের আবেগটাকে কোনো সুখত বা দুঃখ নিয়ে ওইটারই বহিঃপ্রকাশ হিসেবে আমরা কবিতা লিখে থাকি।
okay.
একটু সাউন্ড
So the poets are highly emotional, right? Highly emotional.
are
They,
highly emotional and then it also highly feelings.
and they have feelings. And when they write poetry, that means there is an overflow of powerful, strong feelings. So a poet's feelings are coming out and poetry is created. A poet is creating by using his powerful feelings. And a poet writes poetry when in the middle of chaos or when he is in peace, in a peaceful mood. A poet enjoys writing poetry at which time? When he is in a market, or when he is relaxed at home, or anywhere else, but the situation is peaceful. What do you think?
Sir, could you please tell us again?
A poet writes poetry when when he is in the market, or when there are so many people around him, or when he is relaxed,
When the poet living alone and behind landscape maybe in a
May-
nature, basically nature, or beside the river.
maybe when he is at home,
Yes, basically
maybe
the
when
as
he
far
is,
as I know, all of the writers, that means who wrote the poems, they wrote their poems their alone time. That means their leisure time. They feel and their recollect their all feelings.
they remember, they recollect, and when they have a a room where there is no noise, right? I mean, there is no
And
noise, no one is disturbing. It may be in his own room, it may be near a river, or maybe he has gone to visit a mountain. All right, so maybe near a pond or near a lake. So a poet needs an environment, a peaceful environment. So Wordsworth is saying that a poet recollects, he remembers his emotions in tranquility. Tranquility means when he is peaceful, relaxed, when there is no noise. Do you understand, everyone?
yes, sir.
But T.S. Eliot does not agree. T.S.
Yes,
Eliot,
sir.
T.S. Eliot says, no, this is not the process. Now I am at the conclusion part, last part. I'll take 2 or 3 minutes now. Conclusion. Poetry, an escape from personality and personal emotions. According to T.S. Eliot, poetry is not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. It is not the expression of personality, but an escape from personality. I repeat, poetry is not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. T.S. Eliot believes that it's not uh, the overflow of emotion. Wordsworth believed that poetry is the overflow of emotion. But Eliot says no, poetry is not a turning loose of emotion. It's not an overflow of emotion, but an escape from emotion. The poet should escape, should separate himself from emotion. That means the impersonality of the poet. It is not the expression of personality. The poet should not express his own personality. Wordsworth believed in the expression of personality, but T.S. Eliot said no, a poet should not express his own personality. He should hide his emotions. A poet, uh, poetry is an escape from personality, according to T.S. Eliot. So Eliot does not reject personality or emotion to the poet, only he must depersonalize his emotions. Eliot is saying that every poet has emotions. There is nothing wrong. Every person, every human being has emotions and feelings. Everyone, be a poet, be a scientist, be an engineer, teacher, anyone. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. C.S. Eliot is saying fine, but when a poet is writing poetry, he should hide his emotions. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
He should be impartial. In Bangla, নিরপেক্ষ. কবি হবেন নিরপেক্ষ। কবি নিজের ইমোশনকে দূরে রাখবেন, ফিলিংসকে দূরে রাখবেন যখন তিনি কবিতা লিখছেন। This is called the impersonality of poetry. A poet should hide his personality, should hide his emotions, should hide his feelings. The poet can achieve
I
this.
have a question.
Okay, you can ask, but let me finish. I'll take only 1 minute. The poet can achieve. Now, how can we achieve? How can a poet achieve this impersonality? একজন কবি কিভাবে নিজেকে দূরে রাখবেন ইমোশনস এবং ফিলিংস থেকে? The poet can achieve this impersonality only if he surrenders himself completely to the work of creating poetry. If the poet only pays attention or concentrates on writing poetry, then he can make himself impersonal. And the poet can know what to do only if he achieves, only he gets or gains a sense of tradition. This is very important. If the poet has the sense of tradition, if the poet has a sense of the past, you know, how the past or previous poets wrote, okay, what were the styles that they followed, what were the styles that they created, previous writers. So the poet If the poet knows about all these things, then he can gradually impersonalize himself. He can achieve impersonality. He can hide his emotions and feelings. So he must have a sense of tradition. He must have a sense of the past or the historic sense. So this is how the essay tradition and the individual talent ends. I'm just going to share a picture now. Can you see? Can you see the image?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these are the three parts in the essay, T.S. Eliot's essay, tradition and the individual talent. Number one part is concept of tradition, why tradition is important, why the historic sense is important. A poet should have knowledge about the past, about the previous poets and writers. Number two, theory of depersonalization. That means the impersonality, same thing, you know, synonymous. Theory of depersonalization. Uh, what is depersonalization or what is impersonality? The poet should always hide his own emotions and feelings when he is writing poetry, and the poet's mind is like a catalyst. You know, remember the picture that I shared earlier. The poet's mind is like the catalyst, platinum, and in his mind all the emotions, feelings, they mix up, they mix up, they unite, they combine, and they create something new. They create a poem or they create poetry. Just like, you know, uh, Anis, do you remember? Just
Yes, sir.
like what? Just like what? Do you remember the photo I shared earlier? Acid, sulfuric acid is created by combining what? By mixing. If you mix, you have forgotten.
Yes, sir.
If you mix what? Water.
Sir, if we mix emotion and feelings together, then we can create a poetry
If you mix emotions
and feelings
feelings
together.
together, you can create a poem or you can create poetry, many poems, right? All right, just like a scientific experiment. I'm showing you another photo now. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So there are so many things inside, right? Can you see the word catalyst? There's a word named catalyst. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Just imagine. Just
Sir, sir, why don't you show us the example of another example, because there are lots of students who are commerce backgrounded, so it will be easy for us to understand.
another one. Okay, I'm trying. Wait.
Sir, definitely it's basic science. So almost
Yes.
we have read from the
This.
class 8, 7, background students also, and easily understanding. I hope that.
Okay. Yes, Anis is right. You don't have to be a specialist to understand this. Can you see it now? Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Oxygen,
Yes, sir.
emotions.
Yes.
Then plus সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড, ধরলাম ফিলিংস কে তুলনা করলাম সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইডের সাথে। So mix them, mix oxygen and sulfur dioxide, or mix emotions and feelings. So together, what is the new product? New product is H2SO4.
Sir, I cannot see the picture.
Anis, can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
T.S. Eliot says,
Sir, clear. 100% clear.
T.S. Eliot says, can you see the line? There is a line, T.S. Eliot says. Can you see the line?
No, sir. Just only figure. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Ria,
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
wait for a second. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Sir, now I can see it.
T.S. Eliot says, it's
Yes.
clear,
Yes,
the
sir.
line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, oxygen, we can compare oxygen with emotions, plus sulfur dioxide, we can compare with our feelings. So emotions plus feelings, you mix up in the poet's mind. Okay, in the poet's mind, you mix them up, and what is the product? What is clear?
The product is H2SO4 equal to poem.
Poem. Oxygen plus sulfur dioxide equals H2SO4. Emotions plus feelings equals poem. All right?
Yes, sir.
H2 টা কোত্থেকে আসছে?
Oxygen,
সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইডে তো H2 নাই, অক্সিজেনে H2 নাই।
oxygen plus sulfur dioxide, and then if you add platinum, then sulfuric acid is created. I'm showing you another photo. Wait. Wait for a second. Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, there is a little mistake here. Anyway, just look at these words. Look at these words. Sulfuric dioxide plus water equals sulfuric acid. Now sulfuric acid, how? Because you have added a catalyst. What is the catalyst? Platinum. If you add platinum, then sulfuric dioxide plus water, they mixed up, and sulfuric acid is created. All right, so this is called the depersonalization of poetry, or the impersonality of poetry. If you read the lines on top of the picture, depersonalization is a continual surrender of himself, surrender of the poet as he is at the moment to something which is more valuable. The progress of an artist, that means the progress of a poet, is a continual self-sacrifice, a continual extinction of personality. Extinction means hiding, the poet has to hide his personality. Eliot explains this theory by using or by comparing it to a chemical process. All right. To make it clear, T.S. Eliot, to make depersonalization or the impersonality clear to us, T.S. Eliot has compared the process of writing poetry with the process of creating sulfuric acid. So here, sulfuric dioxide plus water, and if you add platinum, then sulfuric acid is created. I have taken this photo from the internet. So is it clear now? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now Suki had a question. I stopped her because I was discussing the essay. Yes, Suki, you can go on.
Sir, I don't need to ask any question right now.
Oh, no question. All right. So I hope you understand, everyone.
Yes, sir.
No, just feel free if you still have any doubts. Anyone, Ria, Sweetie, Naim, anyone, you can ask questions.
No, sir. I haven't any question.
Okay, so if anyone asks you, what is the main topic, main theme of T.S. Eliot's tradition and the individual talent, what should you say? It means this essay talks about mainly about tradition, the importance of tradition or past, and also about the impersonality of poetry. Right, Ria?
Sorry, sir. Will you please repeat it?
If anyone asks you, what do you understand after reading tradition and the individual talent, what should you say? You should say that this essay, Tradition and the Individual Talent, talks about the importance of tradition, traditioner gurutto, and this essay also talks about the impersonality of poetry or the impersonality of the poet. কবি নিজেকে নিজের আবেগ অনুভূতিকে আলাদা রাখবে, আলাদা রাখা উচিত যখন তিনি কবিতা লিখছেন. So mainly this essay talks about these two things. Clear?
Okay, sir.